Welcome to another edition of My Opinion here on My Opinion TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. And this morning, we want to talk about the police putting out the photos of two suspects they need in connection with a double murder in Westmoreland. Not the one that happened recently. This one happened September 30th, and it says detectives in Westmoreland are seeking your help to find these two suspects for an ongoing investigation in a double murder and wounding with intent on September 30. They are Andre Hines and Brandon Ewan. The incident occurred on Hudson Street, Westmoreland, about 6:55 p.m. when the suspects allegedly entered a shop, opened gunfire, hitting three persons, two of whom succumbed to their injuries. The men are urged to turn themselves in by midday on Wednesday, November 4. Anyone knowing their whereabouts should contact the Southern Alarm Police or Crime Stop or the police at 119 or their respective numbers. So here we have it again. The police hot on the heels of two suspects they need in connection with a double murder, and the police have released their pictures. You can see it on screen, and the police are asking anyone knowing these persons to contact them, and we urge these persons for their own personal safety to get a pastor or a JP or a member of parliament or their family member to turn them over to the police. And we can see the police have actually given them a deadline, November 4th, by midday. So the police is clearly letting them know that, hey, we are after you. We need you to turn yourselves in. And that is what they want at this time. But in all fairness, the police have been going beyond the call of duty. They have been doing some very good investigation, and so far, I mean, they must be commended. The only issue we are having right now is that the police are urging, especially party goers, not to go to unauthorized parties because it is the haven for criminals to come and pounce. But it is what it is. We urge the parents of these persons, Andre Hines and Brandon Ewan, to encourage them to turn themselves over to the police so that they can have their day in court, or else more than likely we know what will be the outcome if they don't turn themselves in. Some will decide, just like you have notorious criminals like Pricky Boys, will decide that, hey, I'm not going in, I'm going to shoot my way out, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But at the end of the day, most times they always come out on the losing end. So if you're a family member to any of these two men, Andre Hines and Brandon Ewan, I would encourage you to encourage them for their own personal safety and for even you as a family member safety to turn themselves in to the police, because sometimes you as a family member, you are not involved, you don't sanction to their wrongdoings, but at the end of the day, in Jamaican terms and in badman terms, you can't catch Quaker, you catch him shot. And this is a lot of persons have lost their lives in this silly way. You understand? So I would encourage all family members to tell their loved one it is in their best interest to turn themselves over. And I think based on what the police are saying, they urge them to turn themselves in by midday. So that's a strong statement, that's a command, that's a statement of intent made by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And we hope good sense will prevail and these people will turn in. Now, just a follow-up on the story that also in Westmoreland, where two persons died at the sports bar, and the police are disclosing that they're hot on the heels of the killer in this incident that took the life of two men, Mark Morgan and Kemar Blair, right? Down there in Westmoreland, and the police say they are getting sufficient information and they're on the heels of this killer. I don't think this would have been a difficult case based on the fact that this man was known to the people at the venue. They had a fuss, he left and came back and did his damage by taking the life of these two persons. So from day one, I didn't think this would have been a rocket scientist or a very difficult case for you to find the killer or the person who was the triggerman behind the death of these persons. But the police, as I said, have made a release that 10 of the injured persons have been released from the hospital. So thank goodness it doesn't appear as if any more loss of life will come from this incident. But the police say the suspect is at large, but they are hot on his heels. So if you are the family member of this killer also, we urge you to ask him to turn himself over to the police, because at the end of the day, based on what I'm hearing, it's not only police is after him. Other persons are after him for retaliation. So he's in a very difficult spot, and his family members should be worried because, as I said in the earlier statement, these men normally, if they can't catch him, they try to take out family members. And you as a family member, you might never be sanctioning to his dirty acts. You might never be approving of his criminal behavior. But at the end of the day, these gunmen, they want to make a statement. And the statement is, if you cannot catch him, catch somebody close to him. But as I said, I'm urging the family members to advise them, get a JP, a minister of religion, a politician, a pastor, to just turn them over to the police and let the process takes its course. Because most of the times, if they don't turn up and turn over themselves to the cops, most time than not, they end up in the grave, 6'6". Well, that's it for another program today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell, so as soon as a video is released, you'll be one of the first to be notified. Until next time, be safe, be good, look out for your loved one, and also look out for a neighbor.